We are in the wonderful snow-covered East Wheeling. Well, this is a little different of a look from when I was younger, but I still love it just the same. My name is Ronald Scott Jr. I am 40 years old. I'm from Wheeling, West Virginia, preferably East Wheeling, and I'm a counselor. There's Jack's, well, what used to be Jack's. The building next to where my Uncle Wiley lived was called Jack's Produce, and it was another hub of the community. It was one of those places everybody went. It was a sustaining neighborhood that people lived in, have memories of, and there's not much of it left. And that's rough. Never really thought about it. And there's new folks coming now. I call them the new bohemians because they're young, they seem to love life and all about change. They're open-minded. You might see a cat with his headphones in jogging while all his dogs walking around. You might see a white cat with dreadlocks telling you about fruit smoothies and stuff like that. This is stuff that we weren't necessarily seeing back in the day. When you think of Wheeling, I guess in a sense, East Wheeling would be the area that's where the black folks were. The area had a very rich and connected community, and I think a lot of it got lost, mainly because of the drug epidemic and the crimes that came along with it. We had an entire generation that ended up being in prison. We lost an entire generation to that, and then we had an entire generation that was growing up addicted. And then you had a generation that were raised solely by their grandparents. And then when you throw on top of that, the projects that had good intent, like the Hope Six, the projects that tore down the government housing, like Grandview Manor that tore it down and displaced those families. And like the project that brought this field here that tore down this entire neighborhood and displaced those families, that just fractured and scattered an entire community that was once a lot stronger and a lot more connected. There's a ton of differences between the folks that are from here and the folks that I'm calling the new bohemians that have kind of made their way here. You got to envy some of the new bohemians because they see Wheeling as a blank slate. And that's so different than the people that are from here, you know, who remember when this neighborhood was there and now it's gone and they were forced to move over here and now they moved over here. Because what they have, as far as Wheeling is concerned, are the memory of the doors that were shut in their face, or the programs that were stopped. But we can learn from their drive, from their incentive, and from their vision. We could definitely learn from that because they're seeing our home in a different way. And the best part is, it's their home now too. So if we could kind of sync both of our visions together, we could do a whole lot of stuff in this area. I think right now in Wheeling there is a sense of hope that's going along with all the changes and improvements that folks are making around here. But unfortunately, I think it's a lot tougher to see all that hope that everybody else is feeling and momentum when you're poor in the area, especially young and poor. Hope is a luxury that a lot of them aren't afforded. And so as much hope as there is in the city, when you're a young, poor person in this area, it just isn't for you. It's almost like watching a TV show. I, again, like to stay as positive as I can and think that the folks that are here to make change want to include us in the change. Like they want to change an environment into a better version of itself instead of just what I want it to be and what I see, and it only includes them. So I'm hoping that is the thing that separates the movement now from gentrification. Like there's a woman named, everybody calls her Gigi, Miss Gigi, who does amazing things for kids. She does things like she had a princess party right in front of her house. All these little girls came down, put on dresses, did makeup, nails. One day she had a barbecue. Nobody got charged, everybody ate. She had kickball games, adults versus kids. And what I would need for some of these new bohemian folks to do is get involved with that. You know, don't necessarily try to bring something brand new that could steamroll over something that's already there. You know, Gigi's doing things. See if you can help her, because she would love to help. And it would be great to see folks get behind you. Just take a back seat to us every now and again. I got a lot of hope that I think this is the first wave, and there's going to be more to come. And I think every wave is going to get more and more intense every time until changes all over this area. And we'd be able to sit down with the new folks and the folks that have been here together and talk about the change. Like, I would be able to tell them about Jackson, what it was, and they'll be able to tell me about all the things they found out about Jackson when they were renovating it and turning it into what it is now. And it'll be a friendly conversation where I'm glad you came and did it, and they're glad that you could tell me this wasn't just a building, you know, that I didn't put all my blood, sweat, and tears into renovating just some wood. Like, this was a place with history, and one hand will wash the other, and it'll be a success.